what the Center for Healthy Aging is an interdisciplinary catalyst. So we're essentially gathering people from every discipline across CSU and nationally and internationally to focus on aging from their own perspective and facilitating that, that groupthink, if you will, because we believe that that's the answer to some of the biggest problems. What's also extraordinarily unique about CSU and sort of ties into the veterinary side of it is that we have this outstanding vet school here. And the vet school has a really well-developed clinical trials program where animals, our companion animals like dogs and cats and horses, etc., we can actually enroll them in different clinical trials. Now, dogs are really, really interesting to think about when it comes to aging research. Number one, if you're a dog lover, and I think many of us are, we all want our dogs to live healthy into their old age. And everyone who's owned a dog or, lost a dog has experienced that heartbreak of, they live a lot shorter period of time than we do, and they age much quicker. So let's double click on age much quicker. So dogs live in our environments, unlike laboratory mice, for example, or monkeys even that are in a laboratory. They live in our environment, and they're exposed to all the same things that we're exposed to. They eat our food, they drink our water, they're exposed to our secondhand smoke, they're exposed to our sedentary versus active lifestyles. And unlike laboratory mice, they also have all the variety, shape, size, color that we do as a human population. So all of a sudden you start to think, okay, well, dogs age naturally, they live in our environments, and all those age-related diseases we talked about, arthritis, heart disease, stroke, even Alzheimer's disease, happen naturally in dogs. We don't give them the cancer, for example. We don't give them cancer or Alzheimer's or, arthritis. This is just part of their active daily lives, similar to people. So what's also interesting about dogs is they have a very different lifespan based on body size. So small dogs live a lot longer than giant breed dogs. Everybody knows that Great Danes and Irish Wolfhounds have a lifespan of about 8 years, whereas a toy poodle can live 16 years on average.
Right.
So this divergence of lifespan is really interesting. And if you take a 7-year-old Great Dane and a 7-year-old toy poodle, and you look at the cells from each of those, so been on the planet exactly the same amount of time, the Great Dane has older cells. So what is this reminding us of? It's reminding us of that 80-year-old population where there's healthy agers, in this case, kind of the analogy being the toy poodle, and less healthy agers, which is the Great Dane. So their lifespan is shorter because they accumulate those hallmarks of aging on a rapid basis. What's also interesting about dogs is, whereas we don't know when in the lifespan of people they began to diverge, so that 80-year-old that we see that's really healthy versus the 80-year-old that's not, somewhere along their lifespan, from birth to age 80, they began to diverge. We don't know when that happened. And if we could intercede at that time of divergence, we could change, again, that trajectory to be more toward the healthy aging trajectory. What's fascinating about companion dogs is we know when that divergence happens. It happens when they become adults at about 1 year of age. So before that, if you look at their cells, they're aging at exactly the same rate. Once they become 1 year of age, the Great Dane suddenly accelerates their aging pathway. So they're going down and accumulates all those hallmarks of aging much more quickly. So now think about it. We've got this very powerful opportunity to help both dogs, but also translate what we know in mice to people, because dogs represent a more, mimic human aging much more closely, and they're exposed to all the stuff that's kind of the confounders, lifestyle changes, obesity, etc. But we also know when they begin to diverge, and we can then take some of these therapeutics that work in mice and use them at known points in that divergence. At 1 year of age when they begin to diverge, at 3 years of age when they're already diverged, at old age when we see the old Great Dane versus the poodle that's still, maybe they're the same age chronologically, but the old Great Dane is nearing the end of his life, where the poodle is still in kind of the prime of life. Can we change that trajectory? There's no way to do that in humans. There's just no way, because we don't know when that happens in humans. We know when it happens in dogs, and dogs are so much more like humans. So because we have this world-class vet school here and a Center for Healthy Aging that's led by a veterinarian who's really interested in this, all of a sudden we have this really interesting opportunity to make an impact. And I don't think there's many other places. In fact, I know of no other place that has it's positioned the way that CSU is positioned right now and that the center is to create the pipeline of discovery that will cross that translational bridge. And that is all due to the fact that we're really interested in dogs. Again, not so much, I mean, for the dog's sake, I mean, we want them to age healthy, but also using that as the two-way street to bring the stuff we know works in mice to make it work in people.